Things seem to go probably how a lot of people expected them to go for your first fight in this thing. Did it go the way you expected it to go too?
The way I expected to go, yeah, for sure. It went the way I expected to go. I was hoping for a finish in the first round. I was hoping for a quick finish. It wasn't that quick. If it was about like 1 minute 35 seconds, I believe, 37, something like that. I was hoping for something quicker, so that way nobody could beat, and I could just be like leading the rankings. But it was so quick, it was so good enough. I believe that I'm still leading, even though the night's not over yet. But I believe that when you train really hard, when you prepare yourself, when you give it like 100% like of your time, like dedication, like stop like spending time with your family so you can just train and like be ready for something, you get the results you want. And my confidence level when I walked into that cage, like it was just like to another level. There was nobody that could have beat me like at the moment. And I have like 5 weeks now to train for the next fight, so it's going to be like a 19 weeks training camp, which nobody does. Everybody's going to be taking like 2 days off. I'm not. I'm going to go back to the hotel right now. I'm going to get a workout. So where I'm going to be training again twice, and then nobody's going to beat me. It's going to be tough.
I mean, you bloody a guy up, you choke him out in like 90 seconds, and your first reaction is, oh man, that should have been faster. Is that what you're kind of telling us here?
It's not that I'm underestimating anybody. It's just the fact that I've been training really hard first. So of course I'm going to expect the best like from myself, and the fact that I've achieved so much on my career as an athlete, not in MMA, but like overall, like in jiu-jitsu, like in grappling. I have to believe that I have the potential to do the same in the cage as long as I dedicate myself like into it, and I have done this for like at least for this tournament, like I've been doing more than I've ever done like my career.
How important is it to remind everybody in the division that, hey, I'm the guy that will choke you out, in a hurry? I mean, everybody knows that about you, but it feels like you need to put a stamp on it to remind everybody right away in this tournament.
I feel people know that they cannot mess with me on the ground. When it comes to the ground game, there's going to be like, I'll give another guy who's actually happens to be my teammate, and I hope that both of us are going to end up like as number one, number two, like in this tournament, which is Ronnie Marquez. But everybody else, nobody can mess with neither one of us on the ground, and they know that. It's a fact. It cannot be denied. That cannot be denied. When it comes to credentials, I have the best credentials on the ground than anybody else in the division, and I feel like it's a simple strategy. As long as I'm ready to take people down, I can work my striking like good, well enough to make people like not want to actually strike with me. When it goes to the ground, it's going to be like just the way it was.
The way the point system is set up in this whole thing, I mean, it seems kind of custom built for a guy like you who's able to finish guys the majority of the time that he fights. How important was it to get 6 points tonight instead of just 5 or 4 or even just 3?
Well, here's the thing with the points too. I was not looking just to get a finish, like maybe like a third round, get those like would it be 4 points? I want to get those 6 points. So my whole mindset was to try to go there, get the guy down like right away and get a finish. And again, he played out perfectly the way I wanted it, and I can't complain about anything.
You've been around, you've fought in the biggest promotions. How huge would it be to go all the way through this thing and to win it and get that $1 million?
The funniest thing is like a lot of people are thinking about the money, which I would would be lying really bad if I said that it wasn't the money the major factor for me to be doing this. But something just happened that I was like, man, everybody questions my skill as an MMA fighter. Nobody questions my skill as a grappler. It's proven. I don't need to prove anything to anybody else. But it's funny how people say, oh, he's not as good. It's like, no, maybe when you saw me fight, I wasn't training as much as I should. Maybe there were other things like happened on the side that kept me from reaching my full potential. And then for this tournament, for the last 14 weeks, there was nothing on my way. There was no stress outside with family or financial stress. There's nothing. Everything just went perfectly, and there's no injuries. There was nothing stopping from performing my best. And the result was 1 minute 30 seconds and 35 seconds.
So you feel like you're peaking right now in your whole career. This is maybe the best you've ever felt.
Mentally, for sure. There's nothing compared to maybe there were when I went on a 6-fight winning streak when I actually got signed back to the UFC. I was doing really well, everything is but it was different. When you're young, you believe that you can beat anybody in the world. It's just that mindset. For me now, it's the experience that makes me believe that I can beat anybody in the world. Because I know, what kind of mistakes I've made, to fail in my career, at a certain point, and I'm not willing to commit those same mistakes anymore.
Appreciate it. Good luck in the second one, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Vinny, you mentioned